Hey, good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. This is the daily check-in, with Russell of Hotels. Today is Hump Day. It's Wednesday, November 5th. I just like saying Hump Day. I don't know why. I just love saying it. Okay, so it's okay. We all got our thing, right? And me saying Hump Day is my thing. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. I had to come on and do this kind of daily check-in. Well, I do it every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I guess I'm getting used to getting back to doing it, because a couple of days I didn't do it last week, that's just a couple of days, right? But it seems like I haven't done it in like a week, although I did on air with Russell of Hotels yesterday, which comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Okay. So anyway, we'll get past that. So, hey, what do I talk about? Just a little bit of everything. And I will never, ever do one of these shows like a daily check-in or on air with Russell of Hotels without showcasing a hotel. Okay. Sometimes just a portion of a hotel. Like right here, I'm actually sitting right here at the Sofitel Hotel in Panama City, Panama. Okay. So that's where this is right now. Okay. That's where I am. And remember yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys checked me out yesterday. If you didn't, check out On Air with Russell of Hotels yesterday. I unveiled a box from the Greater Palm Springs CVB, but specifically Indian Wells Tourism, okay, which Sam Thompson III is the director of marketing there, right? So what they did was sent out a box. Because last week, I think I mentioned this. Last week they did a virtual fam, okay, of Indian Wells, and we got to see or talk to some representatives or heard from representatives from like Tommy Bahama. In fact, hold on one second. So last week, okay, the virtual fam, right? So we heard from representatives like Joseph Flores, Tommy Bahama, Miramonte Resort in Indian Wells. Then we also heard from Miss Michelle Stansfield. Okay, she's with Terramar DMC Greater Palm Springs. Okay, so what they did was send out some cocktails or mocktails, right? So I don't know if you can see this because I think my green screen is gonna affect from seeing it in its entirety, but that's a drink. That's one of the cocktails. Or actually, this is one of the cocktails. Okay, so oh man, that's good. So shout out to them. Thank you so much. I did enjoy one last night, and I'm enjoying one today. Okay, and it's after 12 o'clock, so it's good, right? Oh man, you talking about a good I guess wasting away again in Margaritaville. So that's like a margarita. Okay, so they sent out pre-made margarita mix, right? They're in bottles. You just pour them in the glass. The glasses that they provided, these glasses here. I threw a couple ice cubes in there, and hey, there you go. So anyway, we're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. So if you want to make comments when I'm getting my drink on, please do so, and I'll see the comments and put them on the screen in real time. Okay, so but these daily check-ins don't have to be that long. Okay, of course I try to make it long because I want you to see that I'm enjoying a cocktail. So once again, I never do one of these shows without showcasing a hotel. Just this outside portion is the Sofitel in Panama City, Panama. But the other would be, what is the other one? What's the other one? So I'm going to show this one. Boom. You change the screen here. This is actually the Marriott Knoxville downtown, 302 rooms, blah, 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 blah. I'll show you that. I'm just going to take this one photo off. You won't even see me, but you hear my voice. So I want to go through the photos first. You still hear my voice, but I just want to go ahead and show this because I'll never do one of these shows where I'm not showcasing, because it's all about visibility. Okay. And contrary to popular belief, everyone does not know your destination or your hotel exists. Okay. They don't. Okay. So sometimes the only reference point is they see it here on this show, right? I get people contact me and say, hey, you showed something the other day. I think it was on Wednesday. Can you tell me what that hotel was again? wasn't it in Knoxville? It was the Marriott Knoxville. Yeah, yeah, it was the Marriott Knoxville. What do you think about that hotel? I mean, I get those calls, not all the time, not every day I get a call, but maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that. Someone will call me and say, "Hey, in reference to that one hotel, what'd you think about it?" Blah blah blah. And these can sometimes be other fellow meeting planners, meeting professionals, hotel site selection people, or people that are looking for a place to stay, okay, because they're traveling to that particular part of the country, that city or whatever. Like, hey, that's where University of Tennessee is, right? Like, yeah, it's down the street from there. Okay, would you stay there? Yeah, yeah, I would. Yeah, there you go. So like I said, my job is to showcase as many hotels and destinations as I can, right? And along the way, of course, I talk about myself, okay, my brand, Russell of Hotels, and other people can come on and talk about themselves and their brands as well, right? Because it's all about visibility. It's all about elevating their brand through a conversation, which a lot of people don't even understand that, right? They don't see the beauty of that, the power of talking about one's brand or discussing it with, during a conversation. So there you go. And you still won't understand. There's some people out there that still won't understand, but that's okay. So let me go ahead and delete myself here, and you're going to hear me though, right? So this is once again the Marriott Knoxville downtown. Marriott Knoxville downtown. So that's my room. Yeah, that's my bed. Yeah, I actually slept in that bed right there. There you go. It's another view from the room. 302 rooms. 302 rooms. That's the lobby area. And this is just part of the lobby. The lobby is pretty huge. There's kind of two sides to the lobby. And the front desk would be from where this is to the right. And the entrance is over there as well. Of course, some amenities. Every time I check in, I see amenities like this, like water, candle, some candy, or whatever that was. I have to call and make sure that's, is that for me, or is that just, like a trick for me to eat it and then drink it and then I get charged for it. But actually, no, it was for us. Right? It was for the attendees. So I appreciate that. And this is a bar, one of the bars that they have at the hotel. You can never, anytime you go to a hotel and there's no bar, don't stay there. You go somewhere else. And the unique thing about this particular hotel, okay, so as you can see, it says the Tennessean Hotel. So inside of the Marriott Knoxville downtown, there's a separate 88-room hotel, independent brand. It's called the Tennessean. It's their upscale boutique hotel. Inside of that, it has its own tower, has its own meeting space. In fact, the next scene I'm going to show you is their boardroom. So very nice, very elevated experience over there. It has its own separate elevator bank as well. So it's definitely separate. So it has a separate entrance as well. So very nice, very well put together. And I'm sure it's the same owner who owns the Marriott Knoxville downtown. It's just that they put a tower in there and it's 88 rooms only because the Marriott has 302 rooms. So there you go. So I thought that was kind of cool, kind of unique. I'm like, okay. All right. Any questions at all? Feel free to reach out and touch, reach out and talk to me. Let's see. Oh, there's one thing that I talked about. In fact, let me add me back over here. Where am I? Boom. There I am. Okay. So, and I'm getting better at this, right? So any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Russell at russellofhotels.com. That is my email address, but you can also go to my website, which is well, I know the name of my website, but I wanted to put it on the screen so you can see it. Where is it at? Okay, anyway, my blog, russellofhotels.com. So my website is russellofhotels.com. Anything that I talk about on the show, either here, the daily check-in, or on air with Russell of Hotels, will be, if it's a topic that I'm discussing, will be on my blog. So just go russellofhotels.com and just go to the blog, bing, hit that, and you're there, right? You're there. Also, follow me on IG, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you don't do that already, feel free to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I would love that because I need to get up my subscriptions and my followers on YouTube. So please help a brother out. So yeah, just go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, bing, and then anytime I go live, you'll get a notification. And that's damn near 5 days a week, you'll get a notification. So and I'm not really liking this thing because you can see I'm kind of distorted, it's going in and out. I don't like that, but this is the platform that I use. So what the hell? So Russell at russellofhotels.com for IG and YouTube, and then for LinkedIn, go Russell L. Edmond, and that's how you can find me there. Now, yesterday I talked about, I'm not sure if you checked out my On Air with Russell of Hotels. No, actually, no, that's, if you haven't checked that out, check that out. It's here. The replay is here on LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Facebook. But was it this morning or maybe it was this morning. It was this morning. I posted something on LinkedIn, okay, and it was basically this. This is what I posted. I didn't put anything else on there. I just posted this. It says, have a presence without being present. What does that mean? And I know someone, people liked it or whatever, but no one made a comment, right? They didn't ask, what does that mean? Okay. Well, what is being present without being present? Okay. You guys know I'm big advocate of social media. Okay. So, I mean, this is social media right here, right? Doing a podcast is you do it via social media. I post things via social media, right? So, but also I go to a lot of events. I go to a lot of conferences and trade shows, and anywhere you can network, I'm going to be there, right? Because you want people to know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, right? So now what happens, and I say this all the time, but some people, maybe everyone hasn't heard me say this. Well, I'm saying it again. Everyone is not there. Okay. Everyone is not at that event. Okay. Everyone does not see me. Everyone did not have a one-on-one appointment with me. Okay. So what do? My job is to gather all these business cards, go back to my office, connect with them on LinkedIn, send them emails. Thanking them so much for, meeting with me, and, hopefully, we can work together in the future. But that's the last time they see me, right? When I got their business card, that's probably the last time they see me. That's how it is. Well, I take that a step further. Okay. I post things on social media. So how can you have a presence without being in front of them, without being present in front of them? Well, via social media. I'm still here, just like right here, right? I may not be in the same room with you, but I'm here. So someone right there is watching me right now, like, oh my God, he has a point, right? So if I have a point, shouldn't you be doing the same thing, right? So I said that to say, everyone has a brand out there. Either it's your own personal brand, or it's the hotel that you represent, or the destination you represent, or the DMO, DMC, CVB, whatever, however you want to put it. Everyone has one, or everyone works for one, right? So how do you differentiate yourself or your brand from other people? It's normally the person that's being seen the most. They normally get the business, okay, or they at least are in the conversation, okay, because they're constantly posting things. They're constantly talking about themselves, or talking about their brand, or showcasing something on some social media platform. And that's how you do it, right? That's how you can have a presence without being present. You can still post things, right? You're not posting things while you're seeing them, because you're seeing them. You're right in front of them, right? But when you leave them and you go back home, go back to your office, go back to your hotel, go back to your destination, you send them an email, but they don't see you, right? They just see the email. Oh, I just got an email from Russell. But if you reinforce that with some social media postings like, hey, I'm Russell of Hotels. I do this daily check-in, and I happen to be right here in front of the Sofitel in Panama City, Panama, or I just showed the Marriott in Knoxville. I was attending the North Star what is it, North Star Destination Southeast or Destination Midwest or Destination whatever, small meetings, small boutique meetings, whatever the program that you're attending, you reference those things, right? Or you show those things, because that's not just helping your brand, it's helping everyone else's brand. So now they have a presence too without being present. Does that make sense? Do we get that? Are we on the same page? Because a lot of people, I say that and people look confused. They look like let's say a deer in headlights. They're like, what do you mean? How do you have a presence without being present? I don't get it. Some people don't get it, but that's basically it, right? So when I put that there today, I just want to see how many people would even respond or even say anything. And no one said anything. Like, okay, so you put that, no, have a presence without being present. Well, what does that mean? No one said, what does that mean? Well, I just explained what that meant. So anyway, so anyone that happens to ask you, just make sure you tell them, hey, Russell did address that. So maybe you want to go back and check it out. Okay. So anyway, and also today I was going to talk about something else real quick. Okay, what time? How much time do I have? Oh, 16 minutes. I got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Yesterday on the show, as I was drinking as I was talking about my cocktail that I was going to drink later, I mentioned, because this came from Miss Michelle Stansfield, I believe, with what's it called? Terramar DMC. I was going to explain what a DMC is. I was going to give the definition of a DMC because everyone does not know what a DMC is. This show is not 100% for hoteliers or DMC people or DMO people. There's a lot of people outside of the hospitality industry that don't understand what we do, right? They don't understand what I do as a hotel site selection person or a meeting planner or whatever. They don't understand it. They don't understand some of the partnerships that we have with a DMO or a DMC or a hotel. And they don't understand that hotel people or hospitality people use a lot of acronyms like DMO, DMC, CVB, XYZ, 123, SGMP. They don't. ASAE. I mean, there's a bunch, and I get confused by this stuff. So I know people outside the industry get confused. They're like, why do you guys always do that? Why are you? Oh my God. But anyway, I wanted to explain or give the definition real quick, real brief of a DMC. What is a DMC? Because everyone does not know. So I said 50% of the people that follow or watch me are hospitality people. Let's just say hospitality people. And then another 50% are people that would use a hotel or a destination. They may travel, business travel, or travel on their own, or family travel, or whatever. I'm here to help everybody, right? I'm here to help everyone. I'm here to educate everyone because a lot of people don't know. But even when you are traveling, say with your family, you may use a DMC. You just don't know they're called a DMC. They just may be, okay, you go to let's see, you go on a cruise and there's a shuttle that takes you from where the cruise, where the ship, ported or stopped or docked or whatever to the city, and you're doing some excursions or whatever. Well, a DMC could plan all those things for you. Like say you're going to go, I'm in Egypt and I want to do an ATV ride, or I want to do a quad runners, or I want to ride a camel. More than likely, a DMC is the one that's setting that up. So a DMC stands for Destination Management Company. It's a local expert organization that specializes in providing professional services for meetings, incentives, conferences, and events or groups, right? So what does a DMC do? Think of a DMC as your on-the-ground partner. They know the destination inside and out. Their job is to handle all the local logistics and deliver memorable experiences for your group. Okay. And it didn't say only corporate groups. It didn't say only association. You can do it for any group. So if you have your family, you can do it for your family. Okay. So this is not just, it's only for for corporate and incentives. No, I've done a DMC in, where was I? Where were we? Last December in Morocco. Okay, so we're talking about riding the camels, right? And quad runners. Well, we did that in Morocco. Okay. So at DMC handle that for us. Okay. Contact the DMC. Hey, where can we do this? Okay, you go here, blah, blah, blah. Boom, done. They came and picked us up, took us there, fed us, all these kind of things, right? Of course, there's a price, right? Don't get it twisted. There's a price, but that's okay. They did exactly what we needed them to do. So DMCs are all over the world. Okay, so, and they're here to help you make things easier. So a common DMC, they handle logistics, right? So common DMC includes like the services. The common DMC service would include transportation and air transfers, local tours, excursions, experiences, venue selection, and special events. Like say those hard to find venues, that are special that maybe you never heard of. You want to get out of the hotel for your group or whatever. They will handle things like that, things that they know about that you may not know because they're the local experts. Entertainment, say you needed some singers or whatever. Hey, they do that. You need a DJ. Hey, they do that. Decor, you needed something to decorate a certain way. Okay, there you go. Production and support, AV, all that kind of stuff. On-site coordination and staffing, destination expertise and cultural insights. Why planners use a DMC? They save time by managing local vendors and logistics. They have relationships and buying power that can get better pricing or access to exclusive experiences. They help planners avoid costly mistakes by knowing what works and what doesn't in their destination, right? They're the experts, so they know this stuff. They act as an extension of your team, ensuring your group feels like VIPs. So there you go. That's what it's all about. So let's say an example, if you're planning a corporate incentive trip or just a trip, maybe you have a group of family and friends going to Cabo San Lucas. Let's just use that as an example. Your DMC could arrange private catamaran charters, local dining experiences, and airport to resort transportation, all coordinated seamlessly. So that's what a DMC does. Because a lot of people, we throw out these acronyms and we just assume that everyone knows. But I'm not one of those people. I say we do, but I had to say that in general terms, right? But no, I know that everyone does not know what, the language that we speak as hospitality people, right? So my job is to educate as many people as I can, because I know people that they're not meeting planners. They may put things together for their family. And I'll throw out terms like, oh, you hired a DMC from that? What is a DMC? What do you mean? I said, well, you had transportation, you had, catamaran, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. So-and-so told me about this, blah, 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 but they don't call them DMCs, right? They don't know the term DMC. So sometimes we have to go a step further and kind of explain things to them. So once again, shout out to Miss Michelle Stansfield with Terramar DMC, right? They happen to be, I think their Terramar is located, I think they have locations everywhere around the world, maybe, but specifically Michelle is located in the greater Palm Springs area. Okay. So once again, thank you again. Appreciate everything. A DMC, I got this from a DMC. Okay. They thought of everything. Okay. They did a virtual tour last week. So as they were doing it, I guess the whole thing should have been, well, this is how it was. I guess if we'd have gotten these things ahead of time, why we did the virtual tour, we could be, experiencing a cocktail, enjoying a cocktail. But that's okay, because you can always enjoy a cocktail. You don't have to have a virtual tour to enjoy a cocktail. So there you go. Oh man, that is so good. In fact, Michelle, can you send me some more of that? Sam, Michelle, can you send me some more of that? Okay, I would appreciate that. I would appreciate it. But no, that is it. Once again, Russell of Hotels. I do this daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let me just make sure there's no comments here. Nope, there's no comments. Let's see, what else? What else? Let's see. I think I posted that already. Boom. Yeah, follow me on that. My blog. Yes, there you go. Let's see what else. Any questions? Yeah, here we go again. Any questions? Russell at russellofhotels.com. You know what I got today? This is the first time I actually did this. Okay. So I have a group that now they want to do a cruise. Normally they do they do things in a hotel, like a reunion or whatever. Well, they want to do a cruise. So I was on the phone this morning with Royal Caribbean because this group is going to take out, well, if they decide to do this, right? They're going to take off from Long Beach, right? And do just a 3-day cruise. Well, I've been on cruises before. Don't get me wrong. I've been on cruises before, but I've never planned a group on a cruise. Okay. So it's the first time. I'm a virgin. Okay. So, I don't know why I said that, and I don't know why that made me laugh. But anyway, yeah, I'm a virgin to planning a group on a cruise, right? So on a ship. So yeah, so I'm quickly getting educated on that. But first and foremost, I have an agency, right? I have an agency number and all that. So I have to make sure that I get set up on their, it's kind of a back, what am I trying to say? It's not evident that you can be a planner and set yourself up on either Royal Caribbean or say Princess Cruise Lines or whatever cruise line. You kind of have to find, because it's not right on the screen. Like, okay, if you're a planner, click here and register your whatever. I had to Google it, and it takes you to another. It is not even Royal Caribbean. It's something else. But you kind of backdoor, kind of in the, I don't know. You kind of have to set it up before you actually start calling them. So, but I called them already and told them, hey, I'm potentially a planner, right, or travel advisor or whatever. Because guess what? I want to get, you want to get the commission. You want to get some commission, right, or get some perks or whatever, right? So you never know what you're going to get unless you set up your agency. So I said, okay, let me set up the agency, but I'm missing one thing, of course. So I need a certificate. I mean, I have the certificate, but I need someone to send it to me. IATA to send me this certificate, right? Because I'm up to date on my IATA fees, but you got to pay separate for a certificate. I didn't realize that because I guess I never needed a certificate for anything. So in order to set my agency up, they need a couple things. They need a W-9, which, okay, I get that. And they need a copy of your IATA, a current IATA certificate, which I'm current. I just didn't have a certificate. And then I go back into IATA's website and it's like $25 for a sheet of paper. I'm like, $25 just for certificate, just to show that I'm certified? I'm like, damn it. Well, you got to do what you got to do, right? So because that's what Royal Caribbean's asking for. Of course, they want to verify the IATA number, make sure it is mine, make sure blah, blah, blah. And I got it. I understand. So I'm waiting for that. So once I get that, I'll send that to Royal Caribbean. Then they'll get me set up. But I already got the information from Royal Caribbean about, what the prices are and all those things. And of course, the, prices, they do change, right? So, but yeah, so I'm excited about that, just the process of doing that because, I've been doing hotels, right? I do hotels. That's what I do. I'm Russell of hotels, not Russell of cruises, right? So like I said, I've been on cruises, but I never planned a group on a cruise. Okay. So they have meeting space there. They have AV. They do certain things for groups, like they'll seat them, for dinner. They'll seat them all together. So I'm going to have like, say 150 people. They'll seat all 150 people in the same area, but you have to have the same time, right? So you get either 5 p.m., I think 6:30 and 9:30. Those are the 3 times that you can have dinner together. But there's, you can't say, okay, well, I got it 6:30. Well, I'm gonna do the 9. No, you got to do it all at the same time. Just like if you're doing a cruise individually or with your family, it's the same thing, right? So, and if you need like receptions and things like that, they'll do that as well. So I'm like, okay, so I'm learning that there's certain things that are still included in your whatever you paid, right? Even if you're with a group, okay, they'll take a portion of that out. And I'm finding out that, you get certain perks. If you're the leader, the one that's planning everything, you get certain perks even before you even get to the if you're a travel advisor. If you're the one that's putting things together, you get certain perks. And like I said, I didn't know all this stuff. So I'm finding this stuff out. Okay. So anyway, that's it. I'll keep you posted on that. I just had to tell you that because I was excited. Okay. So any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, Russell at russellofhotels.com. This is a daily check-in. I do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So guess what? If you didn't like what I had to say today, I'll be back tomorrow. So anyway, that is it. Have a great day. What time is it? 1:11. So yeah, it's good, right? It's time for lunch. Okay. After I finish my drink. Anyway, that's it.